My boss used me to manipulate the stock market, so I bankrupted his hedge fund. The trading floor was screaming, phones were ringing off the hook, red numbers were flashing on every screen. In the center of the chaos stood Victor, my boss, the billionaire owner of Apex Capital. He was screaming into his phone, his face purple with rage. "Who is buying?" Victor yelled. "The price is supposed to go down. Who is buying all the shares?" I sat quietly at my desk in the corner, sipping my coffee. I knew exactly who was buying. It was the internet. It was the teachers, the mechanics, the students. It was the regular people Victor called dumb money. Victor had bet $1 billion that a small medical company would go bankrupt today. He forced me to write a fake report saying their new medicine killed people. He wanted to destroy a good company just to buy a new yacht. But he didn't know that last night I posted his secret plan on an online forum. I showed the world his lies, and now millions of small investors were buying the stock just to spite him. The price wasn't going down, it was going to the moon. Victor looked at me, he saw me smiling, and in that moment he realized that the quiet data analyst he treated like garbage had just cost him his empire. Here is the story of how I used a simple laptop to destroy a Wall Street giant. My name is Leo. I am good at math. That is why I got hired at Apex Capital. Apex Capital is a hedge fund. Let me explain what that means in simple English. A hedge fund is a club for rich people. They take money from billionaires and use it to gamble on the stock market. But they don't gamble like you and me. When you buy a stock, you want the price to go up. You invest in a company because you believe in it. Victor, my boss, played a different game. He made money when companies failed. This is called short selling. Imagine borrowing your neighbor's car, selling it for $10,000, and hoping the price of cars drops to $5,000 so you can buy it back, return it to your neighbor, and keep the $5,000 difference. That is short selling. You profit from destruction. My job was junior analyst. I sat in a windowless room and analyzed data for 14 hours a day. Victor was a shark. He wore $5,000 suits and treated his employees like servants. He had a sign on his desk that said, "Greed is good." One Monday morning, Victor called me into his office. "Leo," he said, "I need you to look at a company called BioLife." I knew BioLife. They were a small research company working on a new, affordable insulin for diabetics. It was a noble mission. "I want you to find dirt on them," Victor said. "I want you to find a reason why their new drug will fail." "But sir," I said, "the clinical trials look great. The FDA is about to approve it. The stock price should double." Victor's eyes narrowed. "I don't care about the truth, Leo. I care about the trade. I have bet $200 million that BioLife stock will crash next week. I need a report that scares investors. I need you to find a problem even if it doesn't exist." "You want me to lie?" I asked. "I want you to be creative," Victor corrected. "If the stock goes down 50% by Friday, I make $50 million. And maybe, just maybe, I'll give you a bonus. If not, you can go back to waiting tables." I walked out of his office feeling sick. BioLife was trying to save lives. Victor wanted to bankrupt them to make a profit. This is the dark side of Wall Street. They call it the short and distort. They bet against a company, and then they spread fake bad news to make the price crash so they can win their bet. I had a choice. I could do my job and destroy a good company, or I could do something crazy. I went back to my desk. I pulled up the raw data on BioLife. I analyzed thousands of pages of medical trials. I was looking for a flaw, like Victor asked. But the more I looked, the more I realized something amazing. The drug wasn't just good, it was perfect. It was going to change the world. It was going to save millions of people money on healthcare. The only reason the stock price was low, beaten down, was because hedge funds like ours were artificially suppressing it. If this report came out, the real report, the stock wouldn't crash, it would skyrocket. I walked back into Victor's office. "Sir," I said, "I checked the data. The drug is safe. If we bet against this company, we are going to lose. We should be buying BioLife, not selling it." Victor threw a stapler at the wall. It missed my head by an inch. "Get out!" he screamed. "I don't pay you to give me investment advice. I pay you to write what I tell you to write. You have 24 hours. Write a report saying the drug causes, I don't know, heart palpitations. Make it look scientific. If that report isn't on my desk by tomorrow morning, you are fired, and I will make sure you never work in finance again." He kicked me out. I went home. I sat in my small apartment looking at my laptop. I had 2 documents open. Document A, the fake report Victor wanted, filled with lies. Document B, the real report, proving BioLife was a gold mine. If I published Document A, Victor would get richer, and sick people would suffer because BioLife might go bankrupt. If I published Document B, Victor would fire me. Then I had an idea. Victor thought he controlled the market because he had money, but he forgot about the new power in the stock market, the retail investors, the regular people on the internet. If I could show them the truth, if I could show them that a greedy billionaire was trying to trick them into selling a good stock, they wouldn't sell, they would buy. And if enough people bought the stock, the price would go up. And if the price went up, Victor, who had bet millions that it would go down, would lose everything. It is a concept called a short squeeze. It's when the little guys band together to crush the big guy. I opened a Reddit account. I used a fake name, the Truth Seeker. I started typing. Subject: a hedge fund is trying to destroy the cure for diabetes. Here is the proof. I uploaded the real data. I explained Victor's plan. I explained the math. Then I hit post. I went to sleep. I didn't know if anyone would read it. I woke up the next morning to a notification sound that wouldn't stop. My phone was vibrating off the table. The post had 50,000 upvotes. It was trending on Twitter. It was on the news. The internet had woken up, and they were angry.
The next morning, the stock market opened at 9:30 a.m. Usually, BioLife stock traded at $10 a share. Victor needed it to go down to $5 to win his bet. But because of my Reddit post, thousands of regular people were buying the stock. They saw the truth. They saw that the medicine worked. At 9:31 a.m., the price jumped to $12. At 9:45 a.m., it hit $15. I was sitting in a coffee shop across the street from the Apex Capitol building. I could see through the windows. People were running around like the building was on fire. Here is why Victor was panicking. This is how short selling traps you. When you buy a stock, the worst thing that can happen is the price goes to zero. You lose the money you put in. That's it. But when you short a stock, bet against it, you have infinite risk. Victor had borrowed millions of shares and sold them. He owed those shares back to the bank. If the price went up, he had to buy them back at the new, higher price. If the stock went to $100 or $1,000, he would owe billions. He could lose more money than he ever had. By noon, BioLife was trading at $40 a share. Victor's billion-dollar fund was bleeding money. He was losing $10 million every single minute. I checked my phone. My Reddit post had gone viral. Even Elon Musk had tweeted about it. He posted a single emoji, a rocket ship. That was the fuel the fire needed. The internet army wasn't just buying the stock to make money. They were buying it to punish Victor. They knew he was the one trying to destroy the cancer research. At 1 p.m., I saw Victor storm out of his office onto the trading floor. He grabbed a trader by the collar. "Sell everything else," Victor screamed. "Sell Amazon, sell Apple. I need cash to cover this position. We are not closing BioLife. I will not let the internet win." He was doubling down. He was fighting the ocean with a bucket.
In the investing world, there is one phone call everyone fears. It is called a margin call. This happens when the bank that lent you the money realizes you were losing too much. They call you and say, "Deposit more cash right now or we will sell everything you own to pay ourselves back." At 2 p.m., Victor's phone rang. It was the prime broker from Goldman Sachs. The room went silent. Everyone watched Victor answer the phone. "I have the money," Victor lied, sweat pouring down his face. "Just give me 24 hours. The price will crash tomorrow. These are just idiots on Reddit." The broker on the other end didn't care. The math said Victor was broke. "No more time, Victor," the broker said, I imagine. "We are liquidating your position." Liquidation. That means the bank takes control. The bank started buying back the BioLife shares automatically to close Victor's bet. They bought millions of shares at any price available. This created a buying frenzy. The price shot up from $50 to $100 in 10 minutes. Victor stood there watching his net worth drop to zero. The charts on the screen looked like a vertical green line. For the retail investors, the teachers and students who bought in at $10, this was a lottery win. They were making 1,000% returns. For Victor, it was a death sentence. He dropped his phone. He walked back into his glass office and closed the door. He sat in his expensive leather chair and just stared at the wall. He had bet against the future, and the future won. I finished my coffee. I opened my own trading app. I had bought $5,000 worth of BioLife stock yesterday, right after I posted the article. My account balance now showed $55,000. I had made more money in one day than I made in a year working for Victor.
2 days later, Apex Capital declared bankruptcy. The doors were locked. The "greed is good" sign on Victor's desk was thrown into a cardboard box. The SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, opened an investigation into Victor for market manipulation. Turns out, trying to destroy a medical company with fake news is illegal. Who knew? BioLife used the surge in their stock price to fund their final trials. 6 months later, their new diabetes drug was approved. It is now sold for $20 a bottle, saving people thousands of dollars a year. Victor accidentally did a good thing. His greed funded the cure he tried to destroy. As for me, I cashed out my winnings. It wasn't enough to retire forever, but it was enough to start my own life. I realized that I didn't hate finance. I hated how it was used. I started a YouTube channel teaching normal people how to read financial reports. I teach them how to spot good companies and how to avoid sharks like Victor. I learned that the stock market isn't just a casino for the rich, it's a voting machine. Every dollar you invest is a vote for the kind of world you want to live in. Victor voted for destruction. I voted for creation. If you are watching this, don't be afraid of the stock market. Just remember the golden rule. Never bet against the truth, and never make an enemy of a guy who knows your passwords. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn how to analyze stocks yourself, I have a free guide in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories from inside Wall Street.